Natasha smiled at her reflection, adjusting the diamond necklace Marcus had bought her last week. She looked perfect. The penthouse apartment, the designer clothes, the luxury car parked downstairs. All gifts from a man who supposedly loved his wife and 4 children. But Natasha knew better. She had him exactly where she wanted him. "You are mine," she whispered to herself, applying another coat of crimson lipstick, not hers. For 3 years, she'd been Marcus Wellington's secret, while his wife Angela played the devoted mother, attending PTA meetings and cooking family dinners. Natasha enjoyed the spoils of his wealth, the vacations to Dubai, the shopping sprees in Paris, the promises whispered in expensive hotel rooms. "I'll leave her soon," Marcus always said. "I just need to wait for the right time." Natasha believed him. Why wouldn't she? She was younger, more beautiful, more exciting. Angela was just a tired housewife drowning in responsibility. What could she possibly offer that Natasha couldn't? The doorbell rang. Natasha frowned. Marcus wasn't supposed to visit today. Angela had some school event for the kids. She opened the door expecting flowers. Instead, she found Angela. The woman looked nothing like the frumpy housewife Natasha had imagined. Angela stood tall in an immaculate business suit, her eyes cold and calculating. Behind her stood 2 police officers and a woman with a briefcase. "Hello, Natasha," Angela said, her voice steady. "May we come in?" Natasha's heart hammered. This is private property. You can't." "Actually," the woman with the briefcase interrupted, stepping forward, "this property belongs to Wellington Industries. I'm Jennifer Park, legal counsel. As of this morning, the company is under new management." Natasha's legs weakened. "What are you talking about?" Angela's smile was razor sharp. "Did Marcus ever tell you who actually owned his company? Let me enlighten you. Wellington Industries was founded by my father. When we married, I signed over operational control to Marcus, but I retained 75% ownership, a detail he seemed to have forgotten." The room spun. "That's impossible. Marcus says a lot of things," Angela continued, walking past her into the apartment. She looked around with mild interest, as if inspecting a hotel room. One of the officers stepped forward. "Miss Chen, you are being served with an eviction notice. This property will be repossessed within 48 hours. "Eviction," Natasha's voice cracked. "Where's Marcus? He'll fix this." Angela laughed, a cold, bitter sound. "Marcus is currently being questioned by the FBI. Turns out he's been embezzling from his own company to fund your lifestyle. Well, my company. Every gift, every trip, every dollar he spent on you was stolen from me." The briefcase woman handed Natasha a document. "You are also named in a civil suit for receiving stolen property. The jewelry, the car, the designer items, all purchased with embezzled funds. We'll be collecting them as evidence." Natasha collapsed onto the sofa, the paper trembling in her hands. "This can't be happening." "Oh, but it is," Angela said softly, kneeling to meet Natasha's eyes. "You thought you were clever, didn't you? Thought you had him wrapped around your finger. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. While you were playing dress-up in stolen diamonds, I was building a case. Every transaction, every lie, every penny. I documented it all. 3 years' worth." "But why?" Natasha whispered. "Why wait so long?" Angela stood, smoothing her suit. "Because I needed enough evidence to destroy him completely. And I wanted him to feel safe, comfortable, convinced he was getting away with it." Her eyes hardened. "You don't just hurt a woman with 4 children and walk away. You pay, both of you." 3 years earlier, Angela Wellington had always been extraordinary. A brilliant corporate attorney who'd helped her father build Wellington Industries from a modest startup into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. She'd been the brain behind every major deal, every strategic acquisition. When she married Marcus, charming, handsome Marcus with his easy smile and big dreams, she'd believed in partnership, in love. "You should focus on the children," Marcus had said 6 months into their marriage, his hand resting possessively on her rounded belly. "Let me handle the business side. You've done enough." Angela, exhausted from pregnancy and genuinely wanting to be present for her children, had agreed. She'd signed over operational control, keeping majority ownership as her father had wisely insisted. "Just in case," he'd said. "Business is business, sweetheart, even in marriage." She'd given Marcus everything: her trust, 4 beautiful children, and the company she'd built with her own brilliant mind. In return, he'd given her lies. The change started slowly. Marcus began working late, his phone constantly buzzing with urgent business matters. He'd return home smelling of expensive perfume that wasn't hers, making excuses about client dinners and networking events. Their bedroom grew cold. His kisses became perfunctory, his attention distant. "Daddy, will you come to my soccer game?" their eldest son Michael asked one Saturday morning, his 8-year-old face hopeful. "Can't, buddy. Important meeting," Marcus said, not looking up from his phone, texting furiously. Angela watched her children's faces fall. Michael's disappointment, 7-year-old James' resignation, 5-year-old Sophia's confusion when Daddy cancelled her birthday party preparation to handle business. Even baby David seemed to sense his father's absence, crying harder whenever Marcus was home, as if detecting the stranger their father had become. Angela noticed discrepancies: missing funds, unexplained transfers. Her attorney's mind, never dormant despite her domestic focus, began cataloging irregularities. Then came the day she found the receipt: Cartier, a diamond necklace, $45,000. She'd never received it. Angela's hands trembled as she pulled out her laptop, accessing the company accounts she'd never relinquished view-only access to. What she found made her blood run cold. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, eventually totaling over $2 million, systematically drained from Wellington Industries into an offshore account, then dispersed in luxury purchases, exotic vacation bookings, and a penthouse apartment lease, all for someone named Natasha Chen. She hired a private investigator. The photographs arrived within a week. Marcus with a beautiful young woman kissing her outside expensive restaurants, emerging from luxury hotels, shopping on the Champs-Élysées. While Angela packed school lunches and helped with homework, Marcus was building a fantasy life with his mistress, using stolen company funds, her company funds, to do it. The rage came first, white hot and consuming. Angela wanted to confront him immediately, to scream and destroy and burn everything down. But then she looked at her children. Michael struggling with math homework at the kitchen table, James building Lego towers, Sophia practicing piano, baby David sleeping peacefully in his crib. And the rage crystallized into something colder, more calculated, more deadly. Angela was a corporate attorney trained to dismantle opposition with precision and law. She wouldn't just confront Marcus, she would destroy him. For 3 years, Angela played the perfect wife. She smiled at dinner parties, hosted his business colleagues, maintained their social appearances. And in the quiet hours after putting her children to bed, she built her case. Every transaction documented, every lie recorded, every stolen penny traced. She contacted Jennifer Park, a former colleague and one of the most ruthless civil litigators in the state. Together, they constructed an airtight case of embezzlement, fraud, and corporate theft.
Angela gathered evidence for both criminal prosecution and civil litigation, ensuring Marcus would lose everything: his freedom, his reputation, and every penny he'd stolen. She also did something else. She had the diamonds in Natasha's necklace, the one Marcus stupidly bought with traceable company funds, replaced with cubic zirconia. A small, petty victory perhaps, but deeply satisfying. Then on a bright Tuesday morning, after dropping her children at school and ensuring they were safe and cared for, Angela made her move. She contacted the FBI, filed for emergency corporate control citing embezzlement, and made a visit to the penthouse her husband had purchased with her money. The puppet master was ready to cut the strings.
Forward to the penthouse confrontation. As the officers began photographing the apartment's contents, Angela walked to the door. She paused, looking back at Natasha's crumbling face. "By the way," she added, "that necklace you're wearing, cubic zirconia. I had the real diamonds moved months ago. Marcus never even noticed." She smiled. "Turns out he's not very bright. I can't imagine what you saw in him." The door closed with a decisive click, leaving Natasha alone with the wreckage of her illusions and the devastating realization that she'd never been the one in control at all. Angela had been the puppet master from the very beginning. And that was how Angela Wellington, brilliant corporate attorney and mother of 4, brought her 3-year plan to devastating fruition on that bright Tuesday morning. While Natasha had been playing at love, Angela had been playing chess. And in chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. 3 years of patience, 3 years of planning, 3 years of watching and waiting, all to ensure that when she struck, the blow would be total and irreversible. Marcus Wellington never saw it coming. Neither did Natasha Chen. Both had underestimated the quiet woman who packed school lunches and attended PTA meetings. They'd mistaken domesticity for weakness, patience for vulnerability, kindness for inability. They'd believed their own lies about her, that she was simple, trusting, broken by betrayal. But Angela Wellington was none of those things. She was brilliant, she was strategic, she was patient, and she was victorious. Never underestimate a woman who has been underestimated. She has already proven she can survive what was meant to destroy her. Now watch what she does when she decides to thrive.